I don't see Lisa Goodman, but I see State. Oh, there she is. All right. But I have to introduce you. Don't, wait a second. Where are you in my notes? Okay. You've thrown me all out of whack, so I got to back up here. Okay, representing the 7th Ward is Council Member Lisa Goodman, beginning in 1997. She's been elected 3 times to the City Council and has been a strong advocate for community planning and economic development for both her ward and the city at large. Please welcome Council Member Lisa Goodman.
Well, I'm so glad so many of you came out to see me tonight. Thank you for being here. How many people in the room actually live in the 7th Ward right now? Raise your hand. And how many people after the redistricting will live in the 7th Ward? Raise your hand. Yeah, that kind of sums it up, and it tugs at my heartstrings because it kind of gives me a different set of things to talk about. So they gave me 15 minutes. I won't take 15 minutes. I do want to say that it has been my great privilege to serve this ward for the past 10 years. There isn't a thing that's happened in this city, in the 7th Ward, that I have not been intimately involved in, bad or good. Many people who know me well know that when I'm on your side, I can probably be your best advocate, but when I'm standing up for my constituents and I'm not, I might end up being your worst nightmare. That's what representative democracy is about, representing the people who elect you, not being part of the larger establishment 100% of the time. And that's how I choose to view the job. So as I came here tonight from another event, I was thinking about what's been accomplished over the past 16 years. I was elected to the City Council when I was 31 years old. I had lived in the city less than a decade. I came from somewhere else and I moved downtown. And my view was there is so much low-hanging fruit. There are so many things that can be done. I lived in a part of town where there was no grocery store. Downtown was actually a food island downtown, and here we are 16 years later, and we have 2 of them. Some would say 3 actually, on the other side. I'm sounding a little parochial. 2. I'll only claim the 2 that I actually worked on. Queens. I look around the riverfront. When I was first elected, the Milwaukee Road Depot was literally a Milwaukee Road Depot with tracks in place and mud on the ground. And take a look at the place that it is now. Everything from the Carlisle in one direction to Gold Medal Park in the other direction has my stamp on it. And I think collectively, the vision of the people who live in this area and who have moved into this area have made our downtown what it is. A downtown that has more people living in it than Denver, Dallas, and Detroit combined. And this is the kind of downtown where we want to see density. We want to see development. We want to see transit, and we don't really want to subsidize much of it, nor should we have to subsidize much of it. We don't have a desperation attitude in this city. We have a visionary attitude in this city. It comes from a really strong Midwestern sense of values that we can do better and that we don't need government to do everything. We just need government to lay out a plan that's put together by people, and in the end, development will come. So ultimately, this redistricting has been as a result of your and my success. The way the redistricting worked, there were too many people living downtown unless they were going to create 1 ward. I was one of the people who felt that downtown should be split into 2 wards. It's a lot of work for one person to represent 35,000 constituents, another 180,000 workers, 500,000 visitors who come to this city, all of the different businesses, and in my case, I also represent almost all of Lake of the Isles. I really felt that it was important for us as people who are committed to downtown. I lived at 13th and Hennepin at the Bellevue for 20 years, to have 2 advocates instead of 1. It's not only about what one person thinks, it's about what we're representing a huge number of people think. And so having more people doing it is better, especially if there's amazing synergy between the people doing it. There's no doubt about that. And so when the redistricting process happened, and many of you know this, downtown was split down the middle from east to west. There was conversation about dividing north to south, but in the end they decided east to west. And so essentially if you live from 7th Street, kind of IDS and Nicollet Mall, north, you're going to be in what I like to call the new 3rd Ward. And if you live from 7th Street south, and on the east side of town from 4th Street south, you're in the 7th Ward. And the 7th Ward now is Loring Park, part of Elliott Park, and all of Lake of the Isles and Bryn Mawr. I lost approximately 8,000 residents as a result of the redistricting, which says what it's been like, I think, in many ways over the past maybe 5 or 6 years. So this is the last time that I'll get to stand up in front of you saying that I represent the 7th Ward as it is currently on the Minneapolis City Council. It's been my great pleasure. Many of you know I am running for re-election in my new ward, and I don't have an opponent. I think in many ways, I see one of my old opponents, Michael Catch, is here tonight. I find that very interesting. I think in many ways it says something about the job I've done or the job people think I can do for them, but ultimately this is about a job that 400,000 people do, because we have a representative democracy, one that people like me hold really dear and feel very honored to have a part in. So thank you all for coming out and supporting democracy, supporting our very strong neighborhood association, and it's really committed volunteers who come to meetings, serve on task forces, communicate with the city, and do it all for free. We really appreciate that kind of work. I've been honored to work with so many of you, and I thank you so much for your support over the years.
Thank you, Lisa.